Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, you're very welcome. If you're a subscriber or you continue to visit this channel from time to time, thank you so much for coming. This is Tega, and in this video today, I'll be showing you how to make a kaftan with no side seam. So let's just get started. To start with, I've laid my fabrics on the table. Each fabric is folded over into half. I've got the self edge to self edge at 60 inches and the width is 40 inches. As you can see there, I folded it over and it's 20 inches when folded over. So the orange and the pink fabric have been folded. As you can see here, the self edge to self edge is 60 inches, which I'll be using as the length. I'll be making use of that as the length of the kaftan. And the width, you can see there, is 20 when folded over. So I've got 20 for each colors. First of all, I ironed out the fabric to help me with the cotton. So I moved on, and as you can see there, you've got the place on fold on the side and the other side is open. For joining the fabric at the front and back, you need ½ inch sewing allowance. So you want to mark that. And now you want to take 3½ or 3 inches for the width of your neck. So that's 3½ inches. Then you do the same thing to the pink fabric or your other colored fabric. ½ inch sewing allowance and 3 or 3½ inches for the width of the neck. I'll be working with the front neck first. So you want to determine how deep you want the front depth of your neck. So I'm going to be going for 7 inches here, right? So I'm working on the front of the neck first, like I said, taking 7 inches. I want you to listen to this. For the back neck, guys, you're going to open up the other half of the first colored fabric and you're going to mark your back neck width and your neck depth, right? So the other half of your colored fabric, you're going to mark the back neck, right? So the same fabric, you're going to be marking the front and the back at the same time. So here I've got the sewing allowance ½ inch and 3½ neck width. For the depth of the back neck is 1½ inches. So once I take the 1½, I'm drawing out the back neck line, right? And I'll be drafting the front neck line on the other side, as you can see. So you want to grab your ruler and rule out your neckline. I don't want mine to be completely V-neck, so I'm going to curve it out in a bit. So once you get that, you can decide to give it the shape you want. So we'll repeat the same process for the other fabric, which is the pink. So here I'm going to draft out the front neck exactly like the orange and the back neck over there. So 3½ inches for the neck width of the front and the back. The front neck depth here is 7 inches. Like I said, you can take 7½ or 8. And for the back neck, I've got 3½ as well for the width of the neck and 1½ inches for the neck depth. So I went ahead and cut the front neck and the back neck, which represents half of the kaftan. This is the half part of the kaftan. So I'll move on to the pink as well and cut, right? So now I've got my front and the back neck. Now I'm going to move on to cut the slit at the front. So what you want to do is to go from the edge the same way you cut the neck, the same opening, right? You go on the opening side of the fabric, not where you have the place on fold. And you want to mark the ½ inch sewing allowance. So from the 1/2 inch sewing allowance, take the measurement, see how much you've got left. I have 19.5. Then when I fold the 19.5, I want to find the midpoint of the 19.5. And whatever the 19.5 gives me, I'll mark it from the 1/2 inch there and make my marking, which will give me the midpoint I'll be working with for the slit, for the front slit. So you want to do exactly what I'm doing, guys. So once you've marked half of your front fabric, you want to mark the same right there. Because I'll be going for 20 inches slit. If you want, you can go for 15 inches, whatever the length of the kaftan you're making. I'm gonna go for 20 inches up because I'm making use of the entire 60 inches for the length of this kaftan. So I've gone up 20 inches. So you want to repeat the same process for the pink, right? Before you cut your front slit, make sure that the front neckline aligns with it, so you're not cutting the wrong side of the fabric. So do a last check. You don't want to be cutting a slit on the back neck, so match that neckline to where you're going to be cutting, right? I hope you understand that. So here I'm just matching the front neckline as well to where I'll be cutting my slit. You don't want to make a costly mistake, guys. Make sure you match your neckline to where you'll be cutting the slit. So here I'm just gonna draw the slit. Here I'm just making my marking properly of the 20 inches length of the slit. So from where we've marked half of the width, I'm gonna come in by 2 inches, right? From that half midpoint we marked, I'm gonna come in by 2 inches, right? And from that 2 inches, I'm gonna connect it to the 20 inches length of the slit. You want to make a V shape, right, all the way down, or you can make it a bit curvy along the hemline. I'm not going to curve mine along the hemline. I'm just going to have it all the way down like that. If you want, you can curve it in like a curve shape into the hemline, but I'm just having my almost like a V shape, a curved V shape. So once that is marked, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So you want to do the same. And once you've cut it out, you want to work on the pink fabric or your other colored fabric. So I'll do exactly the same thing, guys. But alternatively, if you don't want to make a mistake, right, because there might be a bit of a difference between the two fabric, you want to place the other fabric on top of this fabric and cut it out. So instead of going ahead to draft another curve here, it's better you place the other fabric you've already cut on top of the other fabric, so you would have exactly the same shape. Guys, it's well worth it. So you don't want to make a mistake with your cotton. This is very important. So here you can see I've gone ahead and placed the other fabric on top of that. It makes it easier to cut. So you want to do this as well. You can easily match them together and cut, and you would have exactly the same. Definitely better if you do it like this. So here I have both my front piece cut, that's the front slit, and like I said, it matches the front neckline. So that's where the front neckline is. So when you fold it over, guys, you would have something like this at the front. This is it. So over there you can see the half an inch sewing allowance where you'll be stitching both colors together, and that is the front. So you have the slits as well at the back, but the slit at the back is straight. After cutting, you should have something like this when you lay it flat, right? You will have something like this, and now we'll move on to the next stage. For the shoulder slope, you want to move over to the place on fold, come down by 2 inches, make your marking, and grab your ruler and just rule a line. So that's your shoulder slope, right from the neckline right there, 2 inches down, don't forget that. And grab your scissors and cut. Once you finish cutting, we're gonna be marking our sleeve opening. Whatever your armhole circumference is, divided by 2. So here I've got 16 inches armhole measurement, so I'm marking 8. You can add half an inch allowance for ease if you want. So I've marked 8 there for the sleeve opening, and the rest of it will be stitched down. Whatever is left, you're gonna be stitching down half an inch. So I'm making the marking for the stitching. So from the edge of that fabric there, I've come down half an inch. I've drawn the line, and that's my sleeve over there. So you want to make your marking as well on yours, and mark the other fabric as well, and repeat exactly the same thing you did with the first fabric. That's the armhole opening over there, and that's the half an inch allowance for stitching. Once that is done, you want to stitch the front opening and the back opening together. And once you've done that, you should have something like this. So I've stitched the back there, and I've stitched the front. As you can see there are no side seam. No side seam. Before we stitch the shoulder line and the sleeve opening, we need to cut the front and the back neckline facing. So you want to lay your fabric again, fold it over like that. Make sure the fabric is on fold. You fold it over and you trace it out. You can go for 2 inches or 2.5 width for the facing. And once you attach the facing, you should have something like this. Perfect. And that's our sleeve opening. That's the 8 inches sleeve opening. And here's the finished look. How beautiful and elegant does this look? Very simple to make, no time wasting. It only takes about 30 minutes and you're on your way to wearing a fabulous trendy kaftan with no side seam. The amazing thing about this kaftan, guys, is the fact that you're able to combine 2 colors. So you can have your 2 favorite colors combined together to make your fabulous kaftan. So I hope you've enjoyed watching every bit of this video. And if you have, remember to subscribe, press that notification bell for more videos like this, like and share, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, look after yourself and bye.